There was once a woman. Rather, once upon a time there was a woman. That's how fairy tales start, right? One day, she found herself on the corner of 7th and Madison in New York City. I'm not even sure those streets match up. And all the taxis and cars were zooming by. It was cloudy. She was just standing there. People were rushing by her. She was just standing there looking at the sky. Her parents named her Cleopatra. She never wanted to go by Cleopatra. She was an Egyptian. What the fuck, guys? And she was standing there looking at the sky with all the people staring at her. But not too much, walking by quickly. Because that's what you do in New York City. A small point of light opened in the clouds. And she knew. This place is not for me. And slowly, for the first time ever since moving to New York City, she walked slowly. She didn't rush. She sauntered her way back to her apartment. And she made love to the men, the beautiful men that she saw on the way, with her eyes. And it was like that little patch of sun was following her. And she walked to her 5th story walk-up, loving every step for the first time. And she found there her boyfriend, sprawled out on the couch with his computer in front of him, pretending he was working. You know, he's like some tech guy, doing some tech stuff. But when she peeked a glance at the computer, he was playing solitaire. And she giggled to herself. She went straight to her room. She put all the important things in a bag. And she said, John. John, because John is the name of a flat character in any story, right? So she said, hey, John, I'm leaving. You can throw my shit out, I don't care. Keep the dog. He loves you more anyway. Can I take that takeout from last night? And he sort of yawned. What? Okay. I guess that makes sense. It was just after Christmas, so there was still some wrappings left on the table. He picked up a knotted piece of golden thread. He said, here, to remember me by. And she said, thank you. She leaned in really close to him. She said, you're a poet. Be a poet. And she laughed. She always wished she had just kissed him. One last kiss. But it was too late to go back. So she walked down the stairs. And when she got there, the sun filled the whole sky. And she smiled and said, I don't know where I'm going next. So she turned right. Started walking. She closed her eyes. She saw the ocean. Okay. And for a moment she thought, what? I guess I could always come back here. If this doesn't work out, I can always... No, I can't go back. She found her way to Grand Central. She realized that there's no trains to the beach in Grand Central. So she went to the other train station. You know, the one. The one near Madison Square Garden. She got on a train to New Jersey. And as she sat on the train, she wrote, she wrote, and she wrote, and she wrote, and she wrote. And then all of a sudden she wrote, look up. So she did. And right outside the train window, there was a strange man with a hairless chest flying along with the train. She thought that's a little peculiar. So she looked back, he was still there, just looking at her and smiling. She said, hello. He said, hey, Cleo. Ah, that name. It's her name. Love it, he said. At the beach, you'll find a castle. Here's a key. And then he flew away. She's like, I must be going crazy. What the fuck is happening to me? Oh. I left my dog with that guy. Oh. Oh, fuck. The train stopped. So she grabbed her bag, threw her journal in, and got off. There's a taxi waiting right there. She got in. She said, where's the nearest beach? He said, well, there's one right down the street, but you don't want to go to that one. Fucking cabbies, she thought. Dude, I don't have that much money. He's like, it's okay, I'll take you there. And so they drove. He didn't make any small talk. But right when they pulled up to the beach, must have been 15, 20 minutes later, half an hour. She doesn't know. She was lost track of all time. He said, you're a goddess, you know that, right? She tried to give him some money and he said no. Stay warm out there. And so she walked out onto the beach and just sat down. It was cold, really cold. She laid down in the sand and just watched the clouds overhead. She saw a dinosaur. She saw her mother. She saw a big plate of spaghetti. She thought, damn, I'm hungry. I don't think I've eaten all day. And I forgot the takeout. And she left that forgotten takeout and that forgotten kiss there in the sand. She buried it with her fingers. And she looked at the ocean. The ocean said, drink me. So she walked close. She took her shoes off, took her socks off. She knelt down and scooped up the water, and splashed it on her face. And with the next cupful, she drank. Mother. And the ocean said, what? And she said, thank you. She said, don't thank me yet. She nodded her head. And then she got the urge to do so many cartwheels that she fell down dizzy, giggling and laughing to herself with the ocean, at the sky. And she knew what she must do. Right then, like a bolt of lightning on a clear day. And she said thank you to everything. She gathered her things and put them in the bag. Put it on. And she walked to the nearest restaurant. And she ordered a big plate of spaghetti and meatballs. She ate it like she'd never eaten before. Sated, she asked the waiter, are there any hotels in this place? Is there anywhere I could stay? He said, well, most of the hotels are kind of closed this time of year, but there's one place. Okay, where is it? Actually, my grandmother owns it, funny enough. It's just a little inn. She won't charge you much, I promise. I'll call her. The waiter never charged her for a meal. He said it's just down the street. You can walk half a mile. Okay. As the sun was setting, clouds were rolling in again. She found herself in front of a large stone building. Old. As old as the ocean, she thought, but she giggled because that couldn't be true. And she walked in. And the woman behind the desk said, "Oh, you must be Cleopatra." And she said, "Yes, yes I am." "Oh, we have your room ready. Do you need anything?" She said, "No. I have everything I need." The woman nodded, and she handed her a key. She took the key, and it was a skeleton key. She said, "This key?" She said, "I haven't really had time to change the locks." "It's old, but it will do." So she went up the stairs and found her room and opened it. It smelled like the ocean, it felt like the ocean, but it was warm. And she sat on her bed and she smiled. And she opened her journal. And on the front page, the first page that she'd ever written, she wrote, "You are a poet. Be it."